Muchachos y muchachas. So we've known that there is a big situation at the border, but the biggest situation is the children. And we've all known to see these unaccompanied minors. There are some really dark, looming questions, and even just the curiosity of where they go to. We'll have a little bit of insight on that, and it's not good. Stay right there. We're going to go through that. If you've tried anti-aging serums, wrinkle creams, or new diets without success, realize it's not your fault. We've been misled about what works to combat aging. The solution doesn't lie in new diet trends or surgery, but in Ageless Glow. I've noticed wrinkles nearly vanish since taking it. I've specifically noticed my facial skin looking and feeling firmer. The best part is you see results instantly within days, not months or years. Learn more by going to www.glowwithnatly.com. Furthermore, you'll get 38% off your first bottle if you order today, plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So in regards to the immigration situation going down at the southern border, and I call it a situation because of the state of our country and the state of the First Amendment. So I am just going to really stay within community standards because I want to stay here with you guys. So in regards to the situation at the border, I think one of the biggest concerns is the children, right? So we've already had this immigration, activity. So this is nothing new, but there has been an influx starting at the beginning of this year. And back to the concern, the initial concern is actually that they are unaccompanied. They are coming across with adults that claim to be their parents, but we don't know specifically. And this is a big problem, obviously, because it could downstream into really dark world of child transport, child, selling. Again, I'm being very, very clean with my words here because I don't want to upset the algorithm. So with that being said, we are still in limbo mystery about where these children are going, who is taking care of them. We've seen charities, bust these children. I think there was even a viral video of Drew Hernandez and I think Alex Jones. I'm not sure if it was Alex Jones, but there was a viral video that went around earlier this year of a charity driving like an overstuffed car full of children. And they basically asked them, like, where are you taking these children? And some of these children don't even have seatbelts. Like, what are you doing? And that just seems to be the looming question. Well, I have a little bit of insight, and I have tried my best to keep up with these situations and, kind of break these down as best as I can. But that is the looming question. Also, not part of our conversation here, but also the detention facilities. The detention facilities, they really tightened up on allowing any sort of media content, video of what's going on inside. They really tightened up on that. And so that's why we really haven't seen a lot more of that footage or a lot more of that transparency. Now, getting back on subject, what happens to these children when they come to the United States? Here's a little bit of insight, and I found this really, really alarming. And I'm also going to show you a clip, a few clips actually, of these situations happening where you see these single males bringing over little girls, little boys, and it's alarming. So let's get straight to it. This is coming from a local news station, KWTX. Texas Border Patrol agents identify sex offender trying to sponsor juvenile migrant. Oh, so what is the context of this? So initially the narrative, or what they want us to believe, is that, these children are coming over, and if they're unaccompanied, then they are found with a sponsor or foster care parent. And I'm actually going to give you a very, very specific example. And I actually went over this earlier this year. And so when that happens, they're expected to go with that sponsor or with the mother. That's typically the story that we hear here. So Edinburgh, Texas, and by the way, Edinburgh, yeah, that's the 𝑅𝐺𝑉 area. U.S. Border Patrol agents in the Rio Grande Valley sector identified a registered sex offender allegedly attempting to sponsor a 16-year-old migrant teenager from Guatemala. On Saturday, McAllen Station Border Patrol agents encountered a group of 85 migrants as they walked from the Rio Grande into the United States. During a virtual processing, an unaccompanied 16-year-old provided the name of a man who she claimed to be a family friend. And by the way, all of these children literally have the same story, whether or not it's coached or not. And I can't attest that that's 100% fact, that they're being coached to say this or they're being told to say these things. But what I can say is by observation is that they are saying the same thing, that they have a mom here, they have a family friend, they're going off to a certain state, and it's just not it's not transparent. We don't have concreteness to their claims. So by memory, the girl provided a demographic information of her would-be sponsor. The Border Patrol said that this is rare and raised a concern from the agents and CBP officer working virtually in Canada to assist our agents in the overwhelming number of migrants in the Donna processing facility. Following the verification process, agents contacted the would-be sponsor, the man living in California. The man allegedly claimed that he was a friend of a close family friend of the migrant girl. Due to the inconsistencies of the subject's stories, agents grew suspicious. Upon further investigation, agents discovered the subject is a registered sex offender out of Oroville, California, the Border Patrol said. So I'm just going to pause before I finish the rest of this article because I do want to give them their quote. But how much more is this happening where someone can just say that they are a sponsor and thus that's where their ending place is? I'm going to bring you a story. I'm going to refresh you on a California couple that literally called this out as a possible case or a possible leeway into child selling, child transport. And this is a very, very serious situation in which we should be looking at and questioning more loudly. Who are taking these kids by the groups, by the masses? Where is some sort of progress report or progress transparency as to how they're being taken care of? Because this is a clear example. They're going to dark individuals like this who have not pure intentions to take care of a child. What grown adult wants to take care of a 16-year-old, and lo and behold, it's a sex offender? That's crazy. So let me finish the rest of this. 𝑅𝐺𝑉 sector agents are tirelessly working to ensure unaccompanied children are not harmed and sent with individuals in our communities who seek to prey on children, said Chief Brian Hastings, the 𝑅𝐺𝑉 sector Border Patrol Chief Patrol Agent. Due to the diligence of the CPB officer and agents, the unaccompanied female juvenile is safe and all proper authorities have been notified. The public is encouraged to take a stand against crime in their communities and report suspicious activity by calling 800-863-9382. So this is another point to make. Border Patrol are essentially being so overwhelmingly overworked right now. Not only are they expected or, not necessarily, it's their innate duty to protect the border. That's their entire, that's their entire intention with their position. But now it's that they're also social workers, so their focal point should be to secure the border. It should be to apprehend those or apprehend, screen, and vet those who enter this country who may not have well intentions due to their past. But now it's the onus is on them to also check very diligently whether or not these children are going to proper homes or proper individuals. That's a social worker. So they're working many hats right now in this timeline. So this is you know, just to kind of give you some sort of picture of how our CBP agents are being treated right now. That's completely insane. Now, I'm going to give you guys 2 clips of this specific example that I named earlier of single adult males bringing in children. And the weird thing about this is that their story is always consistent. How coincidental, right? Like, oh, there must be a coincidence happening in the realm of mothers coming from Latin America that they just send their children and stay behind. So that's the entire narrative. These single adult males who have children who they claim are theirs, they all claim that the mothers are left behind. Take a look at these clips.
2 grown men right here, one with a little girl. Vino con su esposa. Gracias, guy. ¿Vienen ustedes juntos? ¿Usted sola? ¿Y usted? ¿Sola? ¿Cuántos años tienes? 13 años. ¿Y tú? ¿Y cuántos años tienes tú? 16 o 17. ¿Y usted, señor? ¿Viene solo con su hija? Oh, ok. ¿Y la mamá de la niña? ¿No tiene mamá? ¿La dejó la mamá? Y le dejó a la niña. So this guy says that that's his daughter and that the mom actually left him, abandoned him, and abandoned the little girl. You guys think? He says that that's his daughter. ¿Y usted, señor? ¿Y la esposa y la mamá del niño? ¿Se quedó allá? ¿Por qué? Ajá. Okay. So this guy says that he agreed to leave his wife over there because the situation was bad. He says that that's his son. So I don't know about that one. ¿Y usted dónde viene? ¿De Honduras? ¿Y la cachucha de México qué? Ya me lo regalaron. Órale. He says he's from Honduras, but he's rocking a Mexico hat. I don't know. That one's kind of iffy to me. Hit another group, guy. This guy, this little girl. ¿Usted dónde viene, caballero? ¿Usted dónde viene? Guatemala. De Guatemala. ¿Nomás con la niña? 8. ¿Nomás ustedes 2? 2. ¿2? ¿Y la mamá? De Guatemala. ¿Qué le pasó a la mamá? Sí, es una adoptiva. Es mi señora. ¿Ella es adoptiva? Ella nació. ¿Pero esa es su hija o es adoptada? ¿Es adoptada? He says that's her adopted. He's adopted. ¿Él es tu papá, mami? ¿Sí? He says that's his adopted child. It's crazy. He just said she's adopted. Look at that little girl, how depressed she looks. Look at that body language right now. so sad. That's so sad. He just admitted to us that that's not his kid. He says that she's adopted. God knows how many more of these kids are coming in like that in this manner. Look at this poor guy. There's a bunch of roaches and beetles. All of them. Poor children, man. A lot of these kids are being pushed to take this trip. Are being pushed through all of this. Many of these, I guarantee you, these 5- and 7-year-old little boys didn't actually wake up one day and say, yeah, I'm going to the U.S.
And that is Anthony Aguero. He is always at the border and, you know, getting the real nitty gritty detail from, you know, all sides. And it's really stuff that you don't see like on Fox or any of these other publications and media outlets. So I would highly encourage you guys to go subscribe and, you know, just really take a look at what is actually happening. These are some really gritty scenes that you won't see anywhere else. So anyway, I mean, taking it from that, I'm going to take you back to this story that I reported on back in March. A California couple, they were asked right when the influx was initiating, you know, again, let me remind you that I acknowledge that there has always been, you know, illegal immigration at the border for years. You know, this is nothing new. But with the influx of children coming over, the agencies were asking these foster parents for 26 or more beds. This is what they had to say. A California foster, and this is back in March, mind you. California foster parents are being asked to care for a staggering 26 or more unaccompanied migrant children per household. On March 12, foster parents Travis and Charla received a voicemail amid the crisis at the Mexico border. This is an emergency message. Please respond to this urgent message from the Community Care Licensing Division, acronym CCLD. And they continue, CCLD would like to know how many available beds you have to serve additional youth. CCLD is a division of California's Department of Social Services that oversees foster home and care licensing. The couple received an email with the same urgent message containing links for them to communicate how many available beds they have, ranging from 0 to 26. And I'm going to let you guys look at this email here. Actually, let me actually allow you to hear this voicemail here. So let me play this out loud.
This is an emergency. Message from.
Uh-oh, sorry about that, guys.
CCLD would like to know how many available. This is an emergency message. Please respond to this urgent message from the Community Care Licensing Division. CCLD would like to know how many available beds you have to serve additional youth. To confirm your receipt of this message, please call 1-800-326-931-5 and enter 20593.
As a reminder, that was a leaked image of inside a detention center. So usually the maximum amount of children you're allowed to foster at any one time is 6, says Travis, who currently fosters 2 4-month-old twins with his wife while also caring for their biological twins, age 6. We called our caseworker and she told us that everyone was being called because they had got the same call and said the small automotive business owner from Orange, California. She said that there was a big influx of children coming in, but she didn't know where from, he added. And the couple reached out to a friend who's fostering through a different agency, and they were told that she had received the same call. The friend also told them her agency confirmed via email that the children are coming from the border. As many of you are already aware, CCLD has been sending automated emails and phone calls asking you about available beds to serve additional youth, email read. They're trying to address the needs of a record number of unaccompanied children who are arriving from Central America who are escaping impossible situations such as poverty, violence, and natural disasters, it adds. The couple were shocked that the request was being made. So This was back in March. We're now in approaching August very shortly, and this is still happening. Anthony Aguero, again, covers it, went to the border and witnessed hundreds upon hundreds of children just pouring into the United States with, again, those same situations with the single adults bringing them in. Where are they going? At any given point, there are 30,000 plus children in LA County foster care system alone, Charla said. So to ask us already certified foster parents to take on children from another country when we can barely take care of our own foster crisis doesn't seem beneficial to either side, because either way, someone loses a bed, she added. Travis, who along with his wife, they run a nonprofit fight against human trafficking and believes that this is the tip of the sinister iceberg. I consider it human trafficking, he said. It's not the burden of taking in kids because we have the heart for it, but these kids that were taken from the border for a money scheme are now going to use us resource parents to take care of them. And as you guys know, the cartels, you know, have a big hand in, you know, transacting and also, you know, having this sort of activity happening in the country. So, you know, I wanted to paint a big question. You know, what is happening? How many of these the first example from the first article of a sex offender wanting to sponsor a child, you know, how many cases is this happening? How many cases are happening in the United States right now? How many already sent over children are already in the hands of sinister adults? You know, and actually just yesterday, very comically, the White House came out with this notice in which they said that they have a blueprint plan, a fact sheet, the Biden administration blueprint for a fair, orderly, and humane immigration system. How is this in any way fair, orderly, and humane? So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and tell somebody about this channel. Definitely tell somebody about this video. Share this video onto your different platforms, you know, in Instagram, on Facebook, in Facebook groups, because this is a big question. And look, this shouldn't be about political spectrum. This should really be about the children. I mean, this should really be a big question about the children. This is definitely happening in one example, and should those... And I'll just say this. These CBP agents actually cared enough to check in a little further. Let's say that maybe there's not a group of CBP agents that are not as diligent or don't have the capacity to even do that. Not, you know, not dragging on them or not dogging on them, but literally they might not have any time or capacity to even look further because of what they're already put up against. How many situations are happening like that? So that's the big question right now. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for tuning into this video and tuning into this matter. Thank you for supporting me, loving me, and also thank you for supporting the channel. If it's on your heart, and you can always support me at natlydenise.com/donate. Also, there are some easy links in the description below. I would really appreciate it. That is how I'm able to do this. So I appreciate you guys. I will catch you guys in the next video.